of our recruiting class today. And like I was just telling you guys a couple of minutes ago, my name's Ross Howe. I'm a head men's and women's basketball recruiting coach here. And just so you guys have an overall overview of what I want you guys to leave this call today feeling comfortable with is just what we should be doing this fall, the types of video that we need to get just on our profile, and more importantly, what do coaches look for just with their highlight tapes right now. So I think that's going to be very important that we just have a solid game plan. We're also going to kind of go over research in schools, filling out recruiting questionnaires, coach communication, also just what types of visits coaches can offer right now, and just coach communication just also from the college coaching perspective. So that's just a little bit of an overview, and just start it off. I'll walk you guys through, just the timeline. It is going to be different, for men's and women's basketball. Right now for, Division I and Division II, if we're, a sophomore or freshman, they can't contact us directly personally. So, for men's basketball, they can't call us. They can't send us personal emails. We'll respond to our emails until June 15th for, men's and women's basketball. And that June 15th date is going to be going from our sophomore year, into our junior season. So, for women's basketball, at the D2 level, they can't reach out to us directly until June 15th, going from our, sophomore year into our junior year, and September 1st of our junior year for Division I basketball. So, one thing that is allowed is that, we can call those coaches at this point. If they pick up, we can go ahead, have all our questions, answered, and possibly, set up those visits. And, that's going to be, one, area that we're going to go through and cover today. And, but what is allowed at all levels right now is non-personal communication. That could be us getting invited to an, elite camp, and also, just those coaches sending us, overall, just recruiting questionnaires. And, also a recruiting period that we're in is September 9th to November 9th. That's when coaches can come, to our high schools and evaluate us. And that's for, all levels. And I know we just talked about, D1, D2, programs about how they can't personally reach out to us. But, at the D3, AIA, and junior college level, everything is live, so they can call us, text us, respond back to emails, as well. So, just that's an overview about what's allowed and, what's not allowed, just for underclassmen recruiting. So just some bullet points again, for men's basketball, it's going to be June 15th, going from, our sophomore year to our junior year, for Division I and Division II programs. And then for D1 schools, for women's basketball, it's going to be September 1st of junior year. And then for D2 women's basketball, it's going to be from June 15th, and that's going from, our sophomore season into our junior year. Most important, guys, the thing that, guys, I want you to leave this profile, recruiting class is just the types of video, that we're going to want to get on our profile. And I think video is the most overall, important thing. As a former college coach, guys, that's the first thing I wanted to look at. I wanted to see, just where that student athlete stood up just with, some of my, other recruits in the 2018, 2019, 2020 recruiting class. And I also wanted to see where they, just stood up, just some with my current players. And, the types of, footage that we're looking for, varsity game footage or high-level AAU, summer footage. It's going to be very important also, guys, that we just look through the video guidelines. And if you guys, want more in-depth, just video guidelines, I can give you guys just my email address after this call, and that's something that I would love to, send over to you. So, what we're looking for is high-level, AAU, and also, just varsity game footage to send off to coaches. So, the first thing we're going to want to get is that 3 to 5 minute highlight tape, just showing off, our skill sets, whether it's, guard, post player, both of the, just these positions, they're definitely going to need that 3 to 5 minute highlight tape. And also, one thing that I always hear from D1, D2 coaches all the time is, we're also going to want to show a full game video as well. That full game video, let's reserve that just for varsity. Why I think that's just so important. If we get get, just from our season is that's going to be the hardest time, just for coaches to come out and watch you play, because they're in their season, they're worried about keeping their job. So, I think that's going to be great for us just to be able to send this off on a platform where we can, send a 3 to 5 minute highlight tape and then, have a full game video on there, so coaches can go through and evaluate that just from their desk. And, what we're using the highlight tape for is to get a coach interested because, coaches don't have the time to sit at their desk and, watch a full game video of every single student athlete that, sends them an email. And, from my perspective, just as a former college coach, I would come to the office with 20 to 30 emails, a day. So I was going through, just those, emails, responses, very, very quickly. And, I wanted to see, really impressive highlight tape that got my attention. And, then, if I was interested, I wanted to watch that, full game video. So, I think that's just a great way, guys, that we can stand out from, just the other competition that we have, that are trying to reach out and get connected, just with these coaches. And, like I just mentioned at the start of this, if you guys have any trouble or need any help getting that game footage on your profile, like I said, I'll just send you guys my email address after this call, recruiting class, and you guys can reach out to me, anytime. And, just an also, neat thing about your guys' membership is you basically get unlimited amount of videos, that you want to post on your profile that you edit. So whether it's a huddle highlight tape, a YouTube link, those are just, a great resource. It's very easy to download clips. Whether it's on a cell phone, a desktop, laptop, right into the YouTube. The YouTube uploading link is just on the right-hand corner of the page. Once you go to their website. So that's just a great way that we can help just you guys get connected with coaches and also just make it easily for you guys to send it off to coaches on the platform. If we get that highlight tape on our profile, next thing that we're going to want to do is start researching schools. And one of the best things about your guys' just profiles, you can go into the Find Colleges tab. And, what I love about just the Find Colleges tab, it's basically just, the college coach, Google. You can look up any school in the country, find that college coach and be able to email them, on the, just, within a couple minutes. And, what I would love for us to do is when we're reaching these schools is also just try to take it by, just your match level and match percentage. Some other great things, for us to filter by is by state and also division level. I would recommend earlier in the recruiting process, guys, let's target programs that are going to be closer to us in location. And, why I think that's important is they're going to be, they're more likely to be able to help us set up, just those unofficial visits. So that could be just a great thing for us also, for local schools. During these college coaches seasons, it's going to be easier for you to get to those schools' campuses. It's going to be easier for you to go and watch a game as well. So I think it would be great if we can kind of filter by state, match level, and also, division. And, that could really help us, just, when we're starting, just to research these schools. And another great thing that just the match percentage reflects is also, just your major. If you've gone online and selected, a major, it can drop your match, and that school doesn't have it, it can drop your match percentage by up to 30%. So I think that's just a great thing for us to do is that, we're not targeting any schools, that don't, have what we're looking for, academically. And, just with us starting, just with these matches that have, just a higher percentage, it's just going to get, increases, our chances of hearing that positive response back. And, by clicking on, just the star, it's going to be able to, add it to our favorites and also just help you guys, manage it from a day-to-day perspective. And the other thing that you guys heard me just right at the start when we're talking about, what's not allowed and what's allowed. Coaches are allowed, at every level right now to send you guys, just recruiting questionnaires. So if it's a program that, we're very much interested in that we haven't filled out, a recruiting questionnaire yet, I think it would be great if we can go to that school's athletic website and fill that out. It'll just let coaches know, more information about us, and some, academic, just information as well. And it was also going to get our, just information into a coach's database as well, just as, an admissions database. So we can start seeing, if it's going to be a good fit, for us, athletically and academically. And this is really just the first step in the recruiting process, of our, this kind of outbound communication, just to college coaches. So, we're going to want to go online, find these schools, recruiting questionnaires, fill those out, and then the next step is just going to be making sure that our coach communication is going to be exactly what college coaches are looking for. So first off, I just kind of wanted to break down just some feedback that I always just as a former college coach that hopefully can give you guys a little bit of a competitive advantage. And I think it's very important that we just kind of start with the subject line. So I have an example of a subject line of a 2020 student athlete that would really grab my attention. As a college coach, so many things that are important. It's really these coaches passing the eye test. And what coaches are going to look for right away is they're going to look for size, and they're also going to look for GPA and test scores. Why all that's important is just because, coaches want players that, do have the size to play at their level, and also, they do have the grades, academically, so that coach doesn't have to worry about us getting accepted or not being able to get accepted. Okay, so what I would love for us to do, include our grad year, our full name, our position, height, GPA, hopefully GPA, and if we do have test scores, let's plug that in there. As underclassmen, don't worry about that right now. If we're not able to get that on our profile, but and also let's say if we averaged 10 points a game last year, 9 points a game, 18 points per game, I think that could be a great thing to replace just the test score. I think, guys, we're going to want to send it to a whole coaching staff. Say if we go on there, see 3 assistant coaches, it's going to be better for us to email that whole staff, whether it's a Coach Henry, Coach Smith, Coach Johnson, get it out to everyone on that coach, just that recruiting staff. And it's important, guys, that, we address each coach by their last name. You're never going to want to put, a dear coaching staff, those type of emails, from my perspective, have probably a 10% chance of getting that positive response back because, first off, they're not personal. And that's me right into the next point, having personal, personalizing, our emails is the most important part, of this recruiting process. We're going to tell coaches, just why we're interested, in their program. And, a quick rule of thumb, to have is let's say if a program, had a plus 500 record last year, let's mention that. If a program, was below 500, let's, talk about how long those coaches have been coaching at that, particular school. And you can see in this example in here, what I think our first paragraph should be is just, dear, coach, we should talk about their last name, and then, we should, just tell them a little bit more information, about us. If we're a 2020 center, this, student athletes from Middleton High School in Idaho, and then make it personal. And, why I think it's just so important to make our email and our communication personal to coaches. Because this, coaches, right now get, like I mentioned a couple times now, get 20 to 30 emails per day. So they're going through their inbox very fast, and, if they think we're just copying and pasting the email, they're not going to, get back to us. They're just going to delete it and move on. So a quick way that we can, just make coaches more engaged with our, emails is, trying to talk about, personal facts about that program. And, I just remember, one thing I couldn't stand is, coming in after a game, getting 2 to 3 emails from student athletes, and they didn't even mention, how we did. So I think one great, area that you guys can have, a competitive advantage is just talk about, something specific about their program. So if a school won 22 games after we introduced ourselves in our high school, we can just say, Coach, congratulations on last year winning 22 games. I love following your program. It's something that really stood out to me, and it's made me, want to play, for you in the future. So, that right there is going to show to these coaches that, we're emailing them directly. This email isn't meant for any other, just coach in the country. And that's going to at least get coaches, to view our highlight tape. And, that's just going to help these coaches, get more engaged. And, obviously if a program went, 8-22 guys, I don't want you to, say, hey, coach, congratulations on winning 8 games. And, what I would love for you to do then is just look up that coach's bio and say, hey, coach, congratulations on going into, your 5th season, at Sterling College, or if we're looking to go into, our, 9th year at Midwestern State. That, personal type of information, in our emails is going to be very, very important. then going down, to our, second paragraph, this is going to be something that could be very, very consistent, just with every single email that we send off. What we want to do is really, tell coaches more, about who we are, why they should recruit, just us, give them some personal facts about what we're looking for, academically in the school. We could add, how we played varsity as a freshman, we played, or, if we're, bringing up AAU stats as well, we can bring up rebounds, points per game, steals, assists, any type of that statistical information that coaches, are really going to, catch their eye. And, then I think the most important part, guys, as underclassmen, we're emailing the D1, D2 coach right now, they can contact us directly. So what we need to, just show them, in our emails that first we understand the NCAA rules, and then we give them someone to contact. So this is something that I want you guys to have in there word for word. Below is a link to my NCSA profile, where you can, view my highlight tape from my high school season and see my transcript. By NCAA rule, I understand that you can't contact me directly, but feel free to contact some of my coaches, for more information about me, because I would love to go on an unofficial visit, to your program. So then, right there, guys, we'll have, just coach contact information. We're going to want to plug in any coach reference that we have, whether it's a high school coach, an AAU coach. I think it's very important, guys, that we have a texting number and an email address. So, every coach is going to be a little bit different about what they prefer. But this is how, if you guys have heard of, a freshman or sophomore getting those offers, before the dates where they're allowed direct contact with them, they've contacted AAU coaches, they contacted us here, or they contacted, just your high school coaches as well. Like I've mentioned a couple times, if you guys want just this template or just the rules of how you can get us game footage, definitely I'll follow up just with my email address after this call today, and always feel free to email me anytime. And like I said, guys, just in the last part of that paragraph, we're going to want to hopefully set up, just an unofficial visit. So there's two different ways, that we can set up these visits. Is, if we reach out to them and we give them someone that they can get in contact with through us, and also, we can look to hopefully set up, a visit through admissions. And right now, guys, all these, visits are to be unofficial. And, just when, official visits are going to be allowed, for D1 basketball, it's going to be different, for men's and women's. For women's basketball, it's going to be the Thursday after the Final Four. That's, during that student athlete's junior season. And then, January 1st, for men's, Division I basketball. And, I think it's going to be great, let's say if we can get, an unofficial visit before then. And also, another way that I said, that we can try to set that up is just through admissions. And what we could do is just call them and ask if we can meet just the coaches. So I think that's going to be, very important, that we can hopefully make some contact just with those local schools. And, also just so you guys know what to wear, I think it's very important, that, you don't think that you have to go in there with a suit and tie, a nice, shirt, jeans, it's completely acceptable, maybe even a polo, or a nice shirt if you do have one. And, when we're on these visits, guys, I know we have, a separate recruiting class that just goes over, visits 101, but some great questions that we can ask coaches, whether we get them on the phone, or, if we're going, just to these visits, is just first off, coach, can you kind of walk me through, what's the typical day in the life of a student athlete, in your program? So you guys can get just a little bit of an overview, about what we should expect from preseason, in the season, postseason workouts. Then, another great follow-up question to that, guys, is, what do you expect from freshmen, during the first year in your program? And, why I like asking that question is just I think it's a better way, than saying, hey, coach, what do you think my role will be, if I go to your school? That's something that, coaches get it, hear, 100 times a day. So I think it's a better way to ask it, because coaches are going to sell us, on what they see us, and how they see us playing for their program. A great question that we could ask is, Coach, can you tell me a little bit more, about, my graduation class and your recruiting timeline? When are you looking to finish up, my graduation class? Also, Coach, what other positions are you looking for my graduation class? And, Coach, what do you look for, just in the student athlete at my position? are all great questions I think we can ask, if we're going on these visits. And our next step, guys, is just, trying to get video, on our profile, starting off with great, coach communication, filling out questionnaires, sending coaches emails, and then, also to give you guys just a little bit of, just the coach's perspective. Right now, they're going to be focusing on seniors and juniors. So, even if you reach out to a Division I school, and they might say they're done, for the 2018 recruiting class, they're still, contacting those players just so they can make sure that they have those strong commitments, because the upcoming, just early signing period, for, seniors starts November 8th. So, that's going to be, just their biggest priority right now. And also just shifting to the 2019 class and seeing, just who they're going to, offer, trying to have some first tier, second tier, type of players. And then also from the coach's perspective, need to build, just their 2020 and 2021 list. So, what they're looking for, is they're looking for varsity contributors, early on in their career. They're also, looking to attend open gyms right now when we're in this recruiting period, and also looking to, watch film, highlight tapes and full evaluations, just are very, very important. So, that kind of brings us back to our third slide, getting that 3 to 5 minute highlight tape. Also, that full game, evaluation, I think, is going to be very, very important. Just, the biggest thing I want, to make sure, we're doing, just, if you guys ever have any questions, please always, feel comfortable reaching out to us, 877-845-6272. We have a 7-day customer support, that we can help you guys out with, just at any time. And I know we've been talking a lot today, and, guys, I really kind of want to open it up to you. Right now, is there anything that you guys do have questions about? Is there anything that I personally can do to help you guys out? Also, like I said, I was just going to send you guys my email address, so, please let me know. Guys do just need any video guidelines, or you just need that template that we talked about, how we should email D1, D2 coaches, I can send that over to you guys at any time. So I'm just going to send my email address right in the chat box, so if you guys can always follow up with me at any time. And you also, guys, we are free to go right now. But, please, just always reach out to me if you guys do have any questions, or if there's anything, I personally can do to help you guys out. Yeah, good question. I just saw in the chat box, any recommendations on how to address, calling a coach at a time in your email? How is the best way to, just kind of coordinate that call? And, what I would recommend, just guys, when we're looking to, just set that up, just your first email is we're giving, just coaches, someone that they can contact if they're interested. And then, if they do contact your AAU coach, your high school coach, the best thing for us to do is, if they say, hey, I would love for you to give, just us a call at this certain time, is then for us to follow that, just follow up with that coach on an email and say, hey, coach, I just want to thank you so much for taking some time to, call in my high school coach. I'm actually going to be calling you at 5 p.m. next Monday. Here's the number I'm going to be calling from. Your question there, just for full game video, it would be great if we could just post it as is. So, if you have a full game video, if you could upload it right to YouTube, get that YouTube link, you can post it right in your profile. I think that would be great. It's also, just going to give a coach a full time of, when you're on the court, when you're not on the court. So, that's just what I would recommend, and that's just what I like to see as a former coach.